I just need tea for my soul. Like, this cold is really getting to me. Hello my favorite people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is a very special episode because we're wrapping the series up. Yo, this is my applause, yeah? Sometimes I applaud like this, but sometimes I applaud like this because it's with attitude, It's just like 8 parts, I guess. The series was 8 parts long-ish, and we've talked about a lot. We've grew because of the series. The community grew, and I'm just like, y'all like talking about purpose. I like that. I like you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this journey. Without you, I wouldn't be sitting here forcing myself to record a YouTube video. So thank you. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like, this is real. This is not only in my head anymore, me thinking about things, how I can implement things, how I can, reach people. It's actually legit. Like, you guys are watching the YouTube videos because you really want to know more about yourself, about purpose, and become a better version of yourself. And this is what, like, yo, that just makes me emotional. I'm just like, what? We're already at 300 subscribers? So let's get started. Let's get started with today's video. When life makes a little bit more sense, now you got a little bit more clarity. Now you kind of understand, okay, the difference between passion, the difference between purpose, how to pursue passion, how to pursue purpose, how to eventually even make money out of your passion, like how to be profitable with money. Like, everything, the whole series is linked up here. So please feel free to just go through the series in case you need a refresh and just want to, let everything just sink through again and just let it resonate with you, and finally watch this video. So in case you haven't watched the other videos and this is your first time being here on my channel, it's the first video that you're watching of me, hey, first up, but please don't skip the series, yeah, because otherwise the finale wouldn't make that much sense and you will be like, still, what is my purpose? I still don't know what even purpose is. I want this video to be more a Q&A type of video. I just wrote a few questions down, relevant questions, and I thought we can just talk about it and just reflect on it, I want you to ask yourself these questions, maybe even pause the video to think and reflect about it yourself and not just watch it and maybe even watch it at 2x, because yeah, sometimes you gotta speed through life and speed through YouTube videos, but this shouldn't be the one, yeah? Not only because it's mine. But anyway, so how do I know when I've found my purpose? Very good question. How do you know when you found your purpose? When your natural gifts... Okay, wait. I kind of have to read off this because, I'm just literally, I wrote texts. I didn't even write like bullet points. How am I going to do this? Anyway, so when you know your natural gifts and how you can use these to serve other people with it. So let's say you're very selfless and it comes naturally to you to give. You love giving to people. If you step into the state of you blessing people with what you want to give away, you found your purpose. But also, if you're a woman watching this, like, this whole feminine energy topic is pretty not only trending, but we just gained awareness of it, and me as well, because I really realized I kind of operated a lot out of my masculine energy all these years, and now that I'm more familiar with feminine energy, I have this awareness of being in balance of both masculine energy and feminine energy, because we have both energies within us and we shouldn't be only tapping into one. So let's say, right, you're a woman watching this, and if you found your natural gifts, you will see that you have an abundance of it. Meaning you can give without feeling drained, unbalanced, or too much in your masculine energy. This is your abundance center. It's where you can give abundantly, freely even. You can give a abundance of that and therefore stay in your feminine. Let's say even, your abundance center is the center where you know that you can give a lot of the thing that you're naturally gifted, talented, or known for at. You just have an abundance of it, and it doesn't tire you out, it doesn't drain you, it doesn't take a toll out of you to give that thing of yours. For some it might be wisdom. For example, in my case, I feel like I have a abundance of wisdom, and for me it's not even a hard thing to share my wisdom, because I have an abundance of it. Not because I'm omniscient, not because I know everything, no, but it's just it's what God put in me. It's literally what God put in me, and that's why I'm not drained when I pour wisdom into people and knowledge into people. It's just something that I have within me from very early on. And yeah, I mean, of course it's draining to keep on talking with people, but that's where I have to find the balance for myself and, set healthy boundaries, start saying no more, start prioritizing myself, and also, put self-care first. That also, I also learned that lesson the last weeks. Nonetheless, my abundance center is wisdom. And also being very, I love listening to people. That's what I also realized. And I can also give an abundance of that. Yes, it can drain you, but it's always an extent. It can be an extreme, and then it gets toxic and it really drains you, and then you're not really in your feminine energy no more. But also at the same time, it's measurable. You get a feeling of it. But if you're naturally gifted at something, it's actually it stems out of your abundance center, because you're really blessed with it abundantly. So another way to know if you've found your purpose is that your intuition keeps telling you or pointing you towards something, and you get frequent confirmation, whether it be people telling you, wow, you're really good at this, or whether it's people always coming to you for a certain thing. You have to ask yourself, what are people coming to me for? If the people come to you for the certain thing, is it something where you feel okay, I'm naturally good at it and I don't really have to force myself into it or grow into it again? It's school vacation, summer vacation, summer holidays, you come back to school and then you just have to get back into learning, get back into this whole system thing, and it's really hard. But if people come to you for a certain thing and you don't feel you have to adjust yourself to it, then this is also a pretty good sign that you found your purpose. Perhaps your environment even reflects this on you by suddenly complimenting you on it. Also ask yourself, where do you receive the most compliments for? What do you receive the most compliments for or in? And therefore you can also see, okay, maybe it's, I'm pretty good at this, pretty good at that, yada yada. Another confirmation is when God opens doors for you. This could be you've stepped into your purpose knowingly or unknowingly, and you realize, man, all these doors are opening up for me. I'm in this constant flow state. It's just flowing. I'm easing through life, and naturally we don't ease through life because we always struggle through life. But now that you've stepped into your purpose, it feels life feels pretty easy. I mean, things are coming your way. You don't have to force it. You're attracting it naturally. And that's also a pretty good sign that you found your purpose. All right, let's go to the next question. How do I know if I'll like living in my purpose? That's an interesting one, because actually we assume that our purpose is like total satisfaction and we actually flourish living in our purpose. Yeah, we do. But let me tell you this. First off, God knows you. He knows what will satisfy you. He knows what will make you happy long term. Because we seek short-term satisfaction. That's just a fact. That's us. That's our nature. It's because we're human beings, And we claim it to not be short-term, especially if you're like, into personal development. You're like, no, like these are my long-term goals, yada yada. But we don't have this bird's view that God has. So in our heads, it's like, okay, this is the long-term vision, but he sees even wider than our long-term vision. So basically, we still think and operate out of our short-term vision. And therefore, yes, our purpose can feel like a duty or obligation. Because as I've talked about in the previous episodes, our purpose won't always feel pink and fluffy. It won't always be the thing that we love doing, because purpose is actually connected to serving people. And if you don't always want to serve people, or if you're not used to be there for people and be a purpose or of service for people, it feels like a duty, it feels like an obligation, and you just want to hide from it. It's like it's not like a job. You cannot compare your purpose to a job, but it is your assignment to actually pursue it, to step into it and to serve people. Because let me just highlight it again, and I'm also like talking to myself. I'm not just saying this easily and like claiming that I love helping people and I love being there for people 24/7. It drains me because in my past I've always been there for people. I've also neglected myself a lot due to that. And now where I'm like, starting my own life, building my own life and my dreams and pursuing my dreams, I actually just want to focus on myself. And I did that for a while and realized shortly after that I became pretty egoistic in not like how I behave towards other people, but like intrinsically, I just realized that I became really egoistic. Think of myself and, prioritize me, but more in a not so good way. I wasn't toxic for sure, but it could have, like, the more I remained in that state, it could have been pretty detrimental to my path, my purpose as well, because I know and realize that I'm here to serve people. I'm here to share whatever God wants me to share, And I was really pretty deep in that mindset of, gotta take care of myself, gotta grow my business, gotta, unplug for myself and be by myself. It's not really working. And now you're in this loophole of only, thinking about yourself, being for yourself, and realize that's actually not so fulfilling. The world doesn't revolve around me. I'm actually not so important as I think I am. Although I actually, I am important, like we all are important, but not that important. And that was just another reality check. And I was like, okay. Back to the purpose, back to being there for people. That sounds so bitter, but actually, guys, no, I'm just joking. You get where I'm going with this, right? So it can feel like a duty or obligation, another assignment that could weigh heavy on us. You could also have imposter syndrome and feel like you're not qualified to handle your purpose. And guys, this part, right? Us thinking we're not qualified for certain things is pretty deep. Let me read off of 1 Corinthians 27-29. But God shows the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God shows the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast before him. 1 Corinthians 27-29. If you're currently battling thoughts of, I don't know if I'm worthy of the thing you either want or you want to pursue, or being called to pursue, knowing you're not qualified for it in the world, let me tell you this. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And I love this. I love this because this really spoke to me. It really did spoke to me. I was like, yeah, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And that's why we read like stories in the Bible of God qualifying people that were unqualified. And let me share you another example, because I saw this and I hope it's on this phone, not the one that perfect. All right, so it's just a graphic, but I just had to download it because I was like, this is such a great reminder. Noah was a drunk, but he used Noah for the ark, he gave him a purpose, although in the world he didn't seem qualified because he was a drunk. Then Abraham was too old. God promised Abraham that he will give him an abundance of children and generations to come. And he was like, God, you're missing something. You know how old I am, right? I'm like 100+ years. So when am I going to receive like all these children you're promising? And I know that you're not lying, but something doesn't add up. So Abraham was too old. Then Rahab was a prostitute, but God used Rahab as well because she had a purpose too. Peter denied Christ. That was the story where, Jesus said that, hey, Peter, I know that you're going to deny me 3 times. And Peter was like, no, I could never deny you. I love you. I follow you. How could I deny you? And, the day where Peter was tempted, where he was tested, he denied Christ 3 times as he prophesied. And I can just go on and go on. It's a deep one. It's a deep one because God really doesn't call the qualified, because that wouldn't be special. If God would call you to be someone who you've always been with ease and grace and whatever, then it wouldn't be like this wow factor. That's why in our society we are always like drawn to people that have like awful pasts and they came out of nothing, and these like underdog stories, we're always attracted towards that because we can relate, because we all don't we don't live perfect lives. Some are more fortunate than others, but at the end we all struggle, whether it's in the materialistic resources or like financial area, or emotionally or family relationship wise. Either way, we don't have a perfect life because perfect is not existent. It's an illusion. And therefore, we always look towards people that have very, very emotional and relatable stories. And that's why it's just so beautiful to remind myself also to know that God will call me to places where I'm not qualified for. Qualified also means like on paper, because in our society we just always need papers for everything. You need a degree for this, you need a document for this. We always need something to get somewhere. And if you don't have like this experience, and you couldn't like even get into this field, we always need something. But God actually says, and that is the thing, and that's why faith is such a interesting journey. Faith, in my opinion, is also pretty intertwined into something with personal growth, because you are growing when you choose faith. You are really you're training yourself to believe in something that you haven't seen yet, that doesn't make sense in your mind because you're not seeing it in the reality. And this is a topic that I know I should be talking about, but I haven't yet, because it's a deep one and I don't know how and where to start, and perhaps this actually needs or requires a series. But this is for the future, but I'm still gonna like scratch the surface here. We think that what we see is everything, but let me tell you something, and I know it's something that many people cannot really grasp, and some will be like, you're right, girl, like, you okay? What we see in the physical, with our physical eyes, with our 5 senses, is not everything. There is something in another dimension than what we only see. And that's why the quote also goes, or the verse also goes, that faith is something that, like, we walk by faith and not by sight. And it's not just a fancy, beautifully written saying just to romanticize faith, but it's actually a fact. We don't walk by sight but by faith, meaning that when God tells you something and you're like how in the world are you going to do this? How in the world are you going to provide? You know what I have and what I don't have. So how, you know? Because we're limited here. We only see what we see in front of us, what we can feel, what we can hear, what we can sense, what we can hear, what we can smell. Okay. But it goes further than that, it goes deeper than that, because there's also a spiritual realm. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that point, because otherwise we would drift off way too much. But I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to drop that into your spirit, to make you aware of the fact that our reality is not only what we see with our eyes, with our physical eyes. It's way deeper than that. That's why we have certain connections to people. That's why we experience things that we cannot put into words, because it doesn't seem logic. It seems supernatural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just giving you a few hints, but let me leave you at that. Let me repeat that quote. God doesn't call the qualified, but God qualifies the called. If God calls you to do something, then believe me, He qualifies you for it. He will make a way where there is no way. He will open doors where the doors were actually closed and you thought you couldn't get in. He will always provide and give you solutions and just make a way, because He's good. He has all the power in the world, and that's that. You need to know that you will not be led to a purpose that isn't for you. You wouldn't have certain skills, natural abilities, natural gifts, strengths, or experiences if you weren't meant to explore them. So you wouldn't be led apart to do something, to explore something that you shouldn't explore if it's not your purpose, because your purpose won't leave you. You will always have this feeling within you if you're not pursuing it or you're running from your purpose. It feels like you're lacking something the whole time because you are lacking something. And it also feels like you aren't content with the things you have, although you might have a lot of materialistic things that people or society strives for nowadays. 21st century, we know we want the luxury, the glamour and all of that. I do want that for sure, but I realize that it's a byproduct to my purpose, and I had to get into that mindset as well. Just a lot of growing here. Yeah, but sometimes guys, it's the state of knowing that you know that you know. Sometimes you just know that you know that you should do this. Sometimes you know that you know that you know that you should pursue this. Sometimes you know that you know that you know that you're really good at this. Sometimes you know that you know that you know that people rely on you for this. Let that sink in. Last question. What if my life purpose changes? Perhaps your purpose will change, but your core purpose won't really change. Your life purpose won't really change. It will be like more that you have mini purposes along the way, along your life, because sometimes purposes can be like for a short period, or you being somewhere to serve a purpose for somebody else, to be in somebody else's life lesson or experience, or to teach someone something, or that they need to hear your story. Sometimes you meet people for a very short time and you think it's not really significant, but then something happens in your life and then you look back and then you remember this one person, you're like, damn, this person kind of taught me a lesson. Damn, this person kind of gave me an experience that I didn't know back then, but now looking back it makes sense. So this could also be you, because you also serve a purpose, knowingly or unknowingly, although you're not already tapping into your life purpose, into your core purpose. That's why, your purpose in life can change, but the core remains the core and it stays at the core purpose, so that really doesn't really move. So yeah, guys, that's it for today. Definitely, we will continue talking about purpose on this channel, because this is what my channel is about, and because this is just very important and I love talking about purpose. But this is the series, y'all. I would really, really, really love for you to comment down below your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences. Maybe if you've been such a loyal subscriber and watch every episode or almost every episode, I would love for you to comment down below your experience, what you've learned, what you've discovered on or about yourself watching this, what really sprung out and what you kind of even considered doing, because something in you was like, okay, let me try this, let me consider that. I'd really, really love to know that and just talk to you about it. And I'm just gonna say it again, I'm just really happy to see this community growing, and it just really makes me so emotional. This is real, Okay, but let me not repeat myself. I already said that in the beginning. So I'm just really glad that you're here. And guys, last but not least, I'm not gonna leave you just like that, I'm just not gonna drop the series and say okay, until next time then, figure your purpose out yourself, because I know it's a journey. And that's why I've created something very, very special for you. And that is a little guide to uncover, to discover, to explore your purpose. And it's in a form of a journal prompt. I've wrote down lots and lots and lots of questions to reflect on your purpose and self-discovery, because these two really go hand in hand. You discover yourself, whilst discovering yourself, you figure out what your purpose is. And that's why this guide is the perfect all-rounder for the series. You can print it out, you can use it as a digital journal, but it's just going to be the questions. I would love for you, if you don't have a journal, to get a journal for this, because I don't want you to just read through the questions and be like, okay, just answer the questions in your head. No, I want you to use this guide, go back to the guide every now and then if you feel like, okay, now is the time where I really want to get into personal development, get into personal growth, get into self-discovery, and to figure out where I am at life, get to know myself. Because I know it's really in social media, a lot of people nowadays talk about self-development, personal development, but don't really share the how. And I've been also in this field, and I was like, okay, you're talking about it, but how do I get there? That's why I just wrote a ton of questions for you down to just go through, to reflect on it yourself. This journal or this guide is timeless. You could use this every time. You can even reflect on the same question 6 months later, and it's just really, really good. And I'm so glad that this just came into my spirit and I created it. So y'all, you know what to do. enough promotion, but it's not a promotion because actually I'm not promoting you anything, I'm blessing you with it. So you better grab it in the description box. So grab that guide in the description box, y'all. It's free, of course, because as I said, it's a gift from me to you, for you being here, for you supporting me, for you helping me grow and growing yourself. So without further ado,